I mean, it shows. I mean, they got guys that are a little bit more confident, and his energy and his persona, rubbed off when it made an impact on that roster. So I knew what it was coming into this game. So I wasn't gonna allow Pat to, do his antics and try to get me flustered. I know what it's all for show. It's for the crowd, gets the crowd involved. I love it. I love it. I miss it. I miss it. He do it on our side.
What's up, everybody? Just another lunch day rant, man. I'm on my lunch break, so I gotta break it down and bust it down for you real quick. Just want to chop it up, man. NBA playoffs started last night. I'm gonna call them the playoffs because I watched the play-in tournament last year, and watching it this year, the intensity level is there. The heightened sense of awareness is there as far as the way the players are moving on the court, the effort that's given, the sweat on the brow of all the coaches, that feeling of limbo with the fans. It's there. It's all there. It all checks out. The play-in tournament is here to stay. At this point, y'all, it's about what other tournaments they're going to put in, because there's no way in hell the NBA is about to miss out on money. That's what the NBA does not do, is pass up on a revenue opportunity. This tournament just shows that they can find a way to controlling players. The players have gained a lot more control as far as the salary cap is concerned, how much they're being paid, and luxury tax and all of that. The players have more of their hands in it now than ever, but the owners way back at them is putting these extra games, extra tournaments, restructuring the way the season goes, kind of making the players have to earn it in different spots, and now you have to earn it at the end of the season unless you're like the number one seed. If you're the number one overall seed, home court advantage throughout the playoffs, you're set, you're good. So, but everybody else pretty much has to jockey for position and jockey for a good matchup in the first round. Each team, each franchise gets a check. Each player gets a check for making the playoffs. Each player gets an extra check, minimum $200,000, just for making the playoffs. And for some of these players on these teams, that's a lot of money still. The franchise gets a bunch of money from the TV companies. They drop them some funds for providing that extra entertainment. So it is a big deal for them to make the playoffs, whether or not in the old structure that was apparent, it is now. You have teams, small market teams like the Timberwolves, who the owner is probably jumping up and down for joy after, just like Pat Bev, because for them to make the playoffs, hey, that's extra money for the franchise. Not just for the players, but for the franchise. That's a good thing. Spurs Pelicans. I'm going to have to roll with the Spurs, man. I'm going to have to roll with the Spurs. And you know why? Because just because of coaching. Just because of coaching. Talking about Greg Popovich and his best players, he's got Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Pirtle. He's got a bunch of guys. But they bow down to him and they play his way, they play his system, and nothing else is acceptable in their own eyes. So that's a Greg Popovich team. Mavs, Jazz, I'm going to go Mavs. But matter of fact, right now, I'm going to switch it to, I just can't see Luka with this calf strain. Nobody knows what the deal is. So I just can't see them losing to the Jazz if Luka plays, man. I can't see Luka out there playing, losing to the Jazz. The Clippers are the only team that's allowed to beat Luka in the playoffs. I don't know, man. I'm going to say this. I'm going to do a hot take. I'm going to do a bold take. Mavs win with a hurt Luka. Injured Luka. Jalen Brunson goes crazy. Dwight Powell goes ham. I'm going to say Mavs upset the Jazz. Jazz break it up. The Gobert and Donovan Mitchell shit. I'm going to go ahead and call that now. All right, let's move on. Golden State and the Nuggets. I'm going to have to go with Golden State on that. I think it's going to be tough to beat a Klay Thompson and a Steph Curry, no matter what condition he comes back in, and a Steve Kerr for those Nuggets. I think that Jokic is going to have an amazing series, and he's going to be out of there. Memphis and the Timberwolves, clearly Memphis. Not going to talk much about that. We saw what Karl-Anthony Towns was able to do last night in a playoff situation. I can't trust that in a 7-game series against a guy like Ja Morant with the mentality that he has towards the game. Hawks versus Hornets. I'm going to go Hornets here. You know why? I have a good reason for going Hornets. I'm going to go Hornets because I know that they have multiple guys who can elevate their game to another level. I know that for a fact. LaMelo can elevate. Miles Bridges can elevate his game. We've seen it. We've seen it. I'm not even going to sleep on Miles Bridges in the playoffs, because if he has to, he can be that guy. Montrezl Harrell can also be a spark for you in the playoffs. Whereas the Hawks are going to be Trae Young or bust, and I just don't think that's ever going to be the solution to that. I don't trust Bogdanović. I don't trust Huerter. I don't trust any of those guys. Nets, Celtics. I'm going to go Celtics, man. I'm going to go Celtics. It's going to be tricky because they switch everything on defense, and that's a key to getting your ass whooped against a team like the Nets, who have ISO players like Kyrie Irving and KD. That's really a recipe for disaster, but because the Celtics are young and have able bodies, I'm going to say Celtics. I believe that Robert Williams III is going to come back, and he's going to be flying above the rim on both sides of the court. I think that they went overboard as far as like getting him back, just let him sit and make sure he's good for the playoffs. I think that's the story there that nobody's talking about. I think that he's just fine. Bulls and Bucks, I'm going to go Bucks, but I'm going to say this. If DeMar DeRozan gets hot, that could be a tight one. That could be a 6 or 7 gamer. 76ers, Raptors. Man. James Harden.
I'm going to go 76ers because of Joel Embiid.
And just because of Joel Embiid. Not much James Harden. But I believe James Harden can play well. I believe he will play well, actually. I don't know how well he'll play. He's not going to play like superstar James Harden, but I believe James Harden is going to play well in the first round against the Raptors. I just don't see them with anything to stop him with, as far as what he brings to the table. Playmaking wise, I believe he's going to average over 10 assists a game in that series. Yeah, man, just wanted to chop it up. Those are all the playoff series. Obviously, the Cavs play for that last spot. And then on the other side, I believe the Spurs or the Pelicans will play for that last spot. So we'll see how it goes, man. This is my favorite time of the year. This is when I'm really active because I follow all through the season to watch the trends and, the patterns that teams show. And then now it's time for, all things to come to the light as far as what these coaches have, what these players have, what you are when you need to be at your best. And that's, what you want to see as an athlete, and that's what you want to see as a spectator of a sport. It's how these guys perform when their best is needed, when it's absolutely needed, when it's all on the line and we need you to perform. How do you do? So, yeah, man, with much respect, appreciate you for watching. We're definitely going to do some more before the playoffs really get rolling. I think I'm straight right here where I'm at with these predictions. I think I'm good with that because to me, all of those are safe. But holla back, y'all.
Stirring the pot, bitch. I got the wop. She wanna check on my watch. Ain't no more ticking my top, bitch. She not a thot. Hope you chillin' or not. I get money, but I keep it humbly. One day, man, I might get a drop. She like Chick-fil-A, but on a Sunday, ain't nobody got what she got. She like thinking on a little bubble. She like when I take off the top. As far as I tell her, she loyal as hell. And if I go to jail, she won't fuck with the ops. No kind of imposter, the one on my roster. Goddamn, I'm most lost her. I'm rolling the proper. I smoke like a roster. I'm daddy, no proster. We eat no lobster. We're smoking my loss. Got a honey on me, so I'm never lonely. You my tenderoni, choking on crops. Weed in my kidney, yes, gotta forgive me. My nose like a chimney before sending a drop. I got my wop, I keep a bun in my socks. Cookie stinking, need a duffel bag. Haters spinning, think I smoke too fast. Like a send me, I can't go too fast. Different flavors like a bundle pack. Baby girl, don't try to go there. You already know that. Yeah. I got my walk, paranoid, I'm feeling hot. Blazing outside when the temperature drop. Can't even tell when it's still in the top. Stirring the pot, bitch. I got the wop.